Hey, what's up guys? It is I, Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So what I want to talk to you about today is actually something I wanted to kind of, get off my chest or apologize for. It's been said for years on this channel now that a lot of you guys have wanted like two-player costumes back in Soul Calibur, especially when it comes to different past iterations and variations of different costumes. We saw attempts to have this done with like the classic helmets in like Soul Calibur 5, and even more recently with DLC characters such as Seungmina's traditional outfit or her Soul Calibur original outfit coming back as DLC, like included in a character pass. So while I think that is a good step moving forward, I would like to say that off the bat I was wrong, and I agree with you guys. I've talked to a lot of you guys about this, and I've started like thinking about it more in depth and where my position lay in the matter, and I think that like they do need to make a concerted effort, Project Soul that is, to actually have past versions of costumes available in the game in some format or another. Now, let's getting right off the bat, they do give us 100 extra character creation spaces to make costumes for characters in Soul Calibur 6. That was up from 50 from Soul Calibur 5 for custom characters, and these are separate from your characters that you make in character creation. So a lot of people use this to make custom outfits for their main cast characters. And I used to argue that that's the point, that we don't need the costumes back, but I think I was wrong, and I think we either need one of two options to happen. The first option that I think we definitely need to have is two-player option for costumes. We need an alternate costume that's not just an alternate color, and not just a creation costume that you make based on the creation options that you have at your disposal, whether you bought DLC or whether you just have the vanilla version of the game. This is definitely like something that should be implemented into the game, and some of the characters actually do have this to a good point, and some don't have it to their detriment. Like Hwang Sung-young is a good example. He's got his like evil version from when he was possessed by Soul Edge in the game Soul Edge and Soul Blade, which I think was a really cool costume to have. He also has his almost classic style outfit, aside from like the new Bloodborne ninja mystical outfit that he has. And I know a lot of characters actually have costumes like that as well. But what people are saying is that like more than one or two player slots is fine, but they would like at least 4 costumes, and one should be like their original costume, whether that be from Soul Edge or Soul Calibur 1, or whether that be like just a costume from previous games. I think this is something that adds to playability and replayability for games, because some people don't want to use the character creation system in order to make like goofy costumes or whatever. They just want traditional outfits back, and I think what they did with like Seungmina was somewhat good in a way. Like if you're going to have DLC, don't just have the DLC as the character and the stuff for that character. Like maybe include other things as well, like character packs that have classic costumes as a character pack. Just like we saw with the classic helmets as DLC in the Cepheus store in Soul Calibur 5. I think Soul Calibur 7 can make a concerted effort to do something like that again, but have like a classic costume pack where it's got like everyone that was in that game, their 1 and 2 player costumes. And I'm sure people will pay for that if they want to pay for that. And a lot of people are going to automatically go in and say, no DLC, we don't want any kind of extra monetization practices going on in the game outside of the purchase that we initially priced that at. Unfortunately, that's not the case nowadays. Most fighting games, I dare say almost all fighting games actually have like DLC to add on to it, and I have arguments for that like I've talked about before. Maybe I'll go into another video in the future, but that's not what this video is about. So what I wanted to say is that like we can have character-specific past DLCs, we can have character pack DLCs. So what do I mean by specific past? I can say like, let's say we have Aeon comes back, or Lizard Man, right? And he's gone through a variety of changes throughout the years as his character has progressed. So we've seen like his Lizard Man 1 form from like Soul Edge and Soul Blade, up to like his like more lizard-like self from like Soul Caliburs like 4 and 5. 5 being Aeon, Calcos. And I think that if you wanted to just have like Aeon's pack, you can just buy Aeon's pack, and then like if you want to buy the entire pack, like the season or whatever, you can just get the entire pack, and this will be separate from the characters. That way, if you don't want any of the DLC characters, you can just stick to having the extra costumes. And not only should these come with costumes, but I think these DLC packs should also come with their traditional weapons, like their classic weapons. Because if it's another argument that I've heard a lot about, it's not only do they want classic costumes back, but they also want classic weapons back. Soul Calibur has never strayed from having a ton of weapon options for each character in the past. This game was a little bit light. Only certain characters got joke weapons, mainly DLC, and there was a lot of like sameness with the vibes of the weapons. And yes, you can customize them using like different stickers and whatnot, but I think people want traditional, like let's say Blue Thunder back for Huang, right? They just want like Blue Thunder back, and that should be something that'll be specific to him in that character pass. I think this would be a good in-between between people wanting all that stuff in the game up front and them needing money to develop this stuff, or maybe trying to repollinate it, because like the polygonals from the old engines and the old teams might have been lost to time. We don't know like what's in their archives. So to recreate this stuff, especially in Unreal Engine 5 for upcoming Soul Calibur 7, it would need extra time and care, so we'd have to like show them that we want that, and that's where I guess the paywall comes into play. It doesn't have to be, like if they put all that stuff in the game up front, awesome, like I'm totally there. I'd be happy not to actually shell out extra money to have more of a game, right? That's just like how I am. Or the other way that I was thinking about they can do it is have them as character creation pieces that you unlock within the game. Like they always have a secondary and sometimes third story mode. This past game was like Libra of Souls. In the past they've had like Chronicles of the Sword and stuff like that. In that mode, if you play as that character, maybe you can actually unlock character customization pieces that actually go to create that original costume. So you can use one of the character creation slots to make that classic costume just from unlocking the stuff in the story mode. And this would serve purposes of twofold. It would be serving the people that want to actually have unlockables, because like there are a lot of people, including myself, who like to progress through the game and feel like we're progressing by unlocking things or earning in-game currency and going to a store and purchasing what we want specifically. And that would go a far way to let us use every single character that's in the game in those third story modes, or their weapon style if we're creating a character. And then it would also go as far as to having us be able to create their old classic costumes back again by giving us the pieces and the ability to do so via the creation system. I don't know, there's a lot of different ways they can implement it. These are just the top two off the top of my head that I thought would be like the most beneficial to us and to them, because I'm not trying to like just be completely selfish and think that like they're going to give everything like this to us for free. That's not often how they go, especially with the sales of Soul Calibur. As one of my favorite fighting games of all time and one of my favorite franchises of all time, I want to see Soul Calibur 7 explode beyond the cosmos. I want this to be like the game of game that ends all games, because there's always a debate and with the Soul Calibur fandom, as with any fandom, about what the best game is. A lot of people like to go back and say Soul Calibur 2, because it was before they had creation, it was before they had a lot of the stuff that inundates the quality of the game these days. I say 3. A lot of other people like 3 because it was like the most like just voluptuous game, I guess you would say, in the content that it offered you, especially for single player stuff, and that's based because it was like financed by Sony, which is why it wasn't on Nintendo or Xbox consoles. But I don't know, guys, any all thoughts in the comment section down below. This was a short video today, but I just had to get this off my chest. Again, I apologize for not seeing it through your eyes before, and I've come to that decision now. I agree with you. But what are some ways that you would want to see this implemented? I want you to put that in the comment section down below, or go to the Discord and just let us know there. We can have a conversation there. There will be a poll in the community page tab, just like there always is for every video. And like I always say, guys, thanks for watching, and I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.